primary role in this response is to direct the cleanup activities that Enbridge is responsible for performing. While there are a number of agencies with a high degree of interest in this incident and lots of participation, ultimately EPA is charged with making sure that the cleanup happens the way that it needs to.
Small one of each of you is because I'm going to make it public if you don't speak out. If this river is open, I'm on over 50 websites around the country. I'm on over 10,000 Facebooks, and they will all see your faces if you don't stick up for our community. I just got on.
It would be a possibility to utilize these funds for updating that BEA. Again, if there's a responsible party,
right,
you can't utilize it.
Right.
But,
yeah.
And I think that you bring up a good point, Bill, to clarify to everyone that this is for environmental assessments. It is not for the cleanup activities. There are funds available for cleanup activities as well.
I have 700 videos. This is just one of them. The next two are even better than this, but since I don't have time to show them.
None of them are getting any oil, and not about 2 foot deep. You would sink right in it. They put sand over the top of all this now, so it looks good from a distance, but that's how they're covering up oil. They actually poured sand over the top of this oil, and it's underneath. That sand underneath it is where it all comes up. See all that? Now let me prove something to you. I am just going to get sand. Right there, I'm not digging deep. Okay? Just sand. Look at that. They actually buried oil in our streams and rivers. Your kids are going to be playing in this. Clumps of it. See? It's just everywhere through here. Is that oil?
Looks like oil to me.
All right. Hear that? This is Jesse Stopper, and I was talking one day, and he overheard me talking, and he said he wanted to know more. He tries to help the environment in any way he can, and he's a resident of Marshall, Michigan, and he's mad. And after showing him all this, he's now furious. It is super, super bad. Right on Enbridge property.
This is just one of many spots that we found, though, that you've shown me.
Oh yeah, this is just a small spot. That's all through here.
All through here. Unbelievable. I can't believe it. I can't believe this would be allowed. This is supposed to be cleanup? Huh?
And that's what they say.
Cleanup?
That's what they say.
In regards to the oil spill, I've been out on the river multiple occasions. I went to Talmadge Creek the other day where the oil spill was first happened, and we dug through a layer of sand and gravel that was placed over top of buried oil. I've been out in various spots along the river. There's oils buried everywhere. Enbridge isn't doing a very good job cleaning it up. They're only going back to spots to clean up oil where they've had buried after videos by John Bolenbaugh have been released onto YouTube. I feel that that's the only reason they're going back there, and if it wasn't for him and what he is doing, then our river would still be even more polluted. They're planning on opening the river the 1st of next month, I believe, and I think that would be a terrible idea. Children will get sick, swimming in the river, being exposed to the nasty chemicals in the tar sand oil. And I just hope you guys keep the river closed and keep a closer eye on Enbridge and make sure that they clean the oil properly. Thank you.
To speak about the oil spill and explain to you not what I've heard of rumors, not what I've heard people say, but what I've experienced myself. And what I've experienced myself is not a cleanup, but a cover-up, literally. Like they said, we've been out to ground zero. All of us have. And we have seen the sand that is being put over this oil, and the oil is still being under it. It's not cleaning up the oil. Oil is still there, and it will leak out at some point. And you got to think, well, what impact will that have on this? That will have impact on the food that we eat, the deer, the turkey, etc. And then as well, that will have an effect on our children and future generations. They're going to be ingesting this water. They're going to be swimming in this water. And I mean, it's obvious that it's not good for you. And this is the various spots this is happening. It's not just one spot that this sand is at. The sand is at multiple areas. And they're saying that it's cleaned up, and it's not at all. And I just urge you guys to look at this and don't let them open it up until it's fully cleaned up. Thank you.
August 3rd, Battle Creek Inquirer. That's this is the Battle Creek side of this funnel where Talmadge Creek is. The other side is where we made a video before. Okay, I'm just showing you several areas where it looks beautiful, but underneath this is where they buried oil. Look at all the oil on the edges. Okay, this isn't just sheen, this is oil. Okay? That's all coming from the bank because they didn't clean it up properly. Well, now I'm going to dig a hole and show you what's going to happen. Can you see so they know where you're at? Yep. Get under the sand into where they buried the oil. You see that? Just look at that. Just dug. Do you see where the sand's all the way around it? And then the sand slips back into the third Battle Creek Inquirer. I'm just kind of showing you on the edges of Talmadge Creek. This is Talmadge Creek right through here. All through here so you have an idea where we're at. The oil is on the edges everywhere. I just took my rake. Listen, they put a canvas over the top of all this. This is a canvas, and then they plant grass, and the grass comes through and it covers up all this oil. I just put my rake in here and look what happens. Wednesday, August 3rd, 2011. This is Tyler. Tyler, can you tell me where we're at?
We're at Talmadge Creek.
Alright, just give you a view. And what have we been doing today?
Busy day. Today, first we went to an environmental meeting down at City Hall, and then after that we came out here to Talmadge Creek to just get some documentation.
Did they try to arrest me because I was trying to show videos of this cover-up?
Yeah, they tried to kind of bully you into being quiet for a minute.
Alright, well, I did show a couple videos and a couple people seem interested, but some of like Bill Morris, he didn't want anything to do with the oil cover-up, did he?
No, he didn't.
I'm not going to vote for him, and I hope you guys don't either. And I'm going to make all this stuff public. If one of our city commissioners does not want to help us, I'm going to make sure that they don't get voted back in. Because I care about my residents, and we need them to care. So, what did we do yesterday?
Yesterday we went to a city council meeting.
And did we tell them about this area?
We did.
So yesterday night we told them about this area. When we were out here Sunday, did they have anything other than just the boom out here?
Not a thing.
It's all canvas. They plant grass underneath of it. The grass will pop through. But down here, which I'm proof because I was a worker, and I complained about this to John Verlek of the EPA, and I said they're not cleaning this up properly and they're leaving a lot of it. And he said he talked to his superiors and they told him not to worry about it. Well, I'm going to show you how this grass covers up what they're doing. Okay? I'm going to go down here. And I don't want to do this because it's really hard to get out of this oil, but just to show you, because I fell through here a few minutes ago. Okay? This is, they'll say it's marshland. They tried to say this winter. But listen, oil does not freeze. And I could walk every single place in a swamp, everywhere. You can drive a truck over most places, but if there's oil there, you're gonna do this in the middle of the winter. This is all oil. Okay? Can you see how deep I am? My whole leg is buried.
A former worker blowing the whistle on Enbridge takes News Channel 3 on a tour of sites he claims still have oil, but the company is not coming back to clean up. John Bolenbaugh still finds ice packed with oil and is making strong accusations against the company.
They were trying to meet deadlines. So what they would tell us to do is take dirt, put it over the top of the oil. They were telling us to take mud with oil and throw it into the woods. They're telling us to rake dirt over the top of oil.
And he says because he wouldn't do those things, he was fired in October after 2 months on cleanup operations. But Bolenbaugh believes the so-called smoking gun is near Talmadge Creek in Ground Zero in Marshall.
Because I just wanted to prove that this is all oil. It is all oil. This is not mud. Mud will freeze. But they put this canvas over the top of it. This is just plain old canvas. They put grass seed underneath it, and what's supposed to happen is the grass will grow through.
He's accusing Enbridge of using a coconut matting to cover up obvious oil, with the company having no thoughts of ever cleaning these areas up. The project director was scheduled to go out to the site with us, but said a significant issue came up, so we showed him our video.
No, that is not oil. That's sediment.
My leg is buried. It's not easy to get out, but this grass is covering it up for you. All right? I'm just telling you, it's here. It's going to get in your wells. This is the truth. These companies are evil. And what I mean by evil is you do not do this in my community. It's John Bolenbaugh. This is Commissioner Todd, County Commissioner in Marshall, Michigan, where the spill happened. I have a serious question for you. Have I made a difference, do you think, in the cleanup efforts of the EPA and Enbridge?
Absolutely. One of the things that I mentioned during our meeting is that you being very necessary in order for things to really progress and get to where we need them to get. Sometimes it takes an individual like yourself. That's exactly what Dr. King was. And that's exactly what Malcolm X were. That's exactly what Al Sharpton is now. I mean, those are people who were bold enough and confident enough that they were doing the right thing to make the difference in the lives of people. Because ultimately it points back to people, John. I mean, you know, it has nothing to do with my status as a commissioner, but more so as a man of God. I mean, that is most important, you know, and sometimes you have to do whatever it takes. But like I mentioned also that our strategies may be different, but you're necessary because of the things that you've done. Now you're getting the results that we're looking for now, and you know, even though it was slow getting there, but it still brought the attention to try to correct the wrong. Commissioner Heisman, same way. He made a comment that this year outside his office, now he's starting to see Enbridge actually go out to the river in certain parts of the river that he's at to start trying to clean up process there, which in the previous year they weren't there before. So he commended you as well on being the one that actually made the difference to that. So I commend you, man. I mean, you know, this is for people. This is for the livelihood of people.
Well, thank you. It's important to me to have, especially a politician, you know, say that what I am doing is making a difference, because it's been really hard when the EPA and Enbridge say that everything I'm doing is nothing.
that I haven't helped, and I know different, but they got to protect their pocketbooks and their reputation.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I do want to point out too is that in times past, to my knowledge, it was no recognition or no acknowledgement that there was even any submerged oil in the beginning. But now, as we saw in the news and in the newspaper, and even when I spoke to them at a previous meeting, now they're acknowledging that there's still an amount of submerged oil, and then now it's going to continue to take maybe years to get it cleaned up. So,
and that was because I took the press out there and made complaints and showed videos, and yeah.
So, I mean, you're to be commended what you're doing. I mean, as long as you believe in something wholeheartedly, stick with it. Don't allow any devil to come between you and what you believe in. And so, but we commend you, man. I commend you personally. All right? Appreciate it.
Thank you, Commissioner. John Bolenbaugh. It's March 13th, and I'm at a BP station here in Florida. Just show you that all the southern BP stations have been closing down because nobody wants to buy gas from BP. So I'm asking you, please do not go to BP stations in any of the northern states. Support the people in the Gulf. Look at the tar balls. These are what they're talking about. It's all oil. One big piece of oil. See? This is what they're talking about, tar balls. All through here. Everywhere along the beach. And they got kids just playing right here. Got people. They just opened the beach. Everybody can walk around. They can get in the water. They can have their kids in the gitga'at. Well, I'm going to show you. See, they say this is rubber, okay? I mean, and it looks like rubber. It's hard like rubber. But if you take it apart, which you can't do that with rubber, and I'm going to put some on my hands. Okay? Does rubber do that? Okay, now we know rubber's not going to stick to my glove. Or mud's not going to stick to my glove. So let's go in the water. It's oil alright, 100% oil. BP's been lying to everybody, and they just let everybody come and hang out on the beach. Sick. There's some oil we found. Look at it. So, when BP says that this is rubber, what do you have to say to that?
Rubber don't melt just by the heat of my hand like this, I know that. Doesn't stink, it's not too volatile, but man, is it gooey. Good find, Karen. It's like cake batter.
Icing on the cake, look.
This is gitga'at. I'm in the Gulf of Mexico. Yeah, this is where kids play. And of course, we got the oil, tar balls. Right where, yep. Kids are playing right here in the gitga'at. Animal life, everything's dead around here.